Hello again, everyone.
Hello,
This
guys.
is the closest I've come to seeing you in like months. And it's
All
just your
right. So this one is recording, and I have got this set up for Stephanie to share her screen, and the other video is converting right now.
Why, fancy seeing y'all here.
There you are again.
Ta-da!
Yeah, I think I'm just going to forget about abbreviating anything from here on out. County, street, boulevard, anything, since we can now do all of that.
Isn't it a miracle?
Pretty
So
much.
there's no info bar anymore, right?
There is. It's
Oh.
still an info bar.
I
It's
didn't find-
just in the same template as the super.
Oh, right. Like the bullet. The bullet.
Yeah, you can do a two
Well-
bullets, or you can just keep on filling out that thing until well, you can just till the cows come home, really. Yeah, Steph, I really also do appreciate how much more efficient your training system was. I think we spent the first hour just learning things that are way down the road, like those BAM and MAM things.
Which those are coming, and we'll be inviting you to meetings every week, every other week, whatever it takes to roll them out properly.
Yeah, I see one
But they'll
open
be
for
quick ones.
WRAL News. Is that the one open we're just going to use for everything at this point, or are more opens being built?
We've got WRAL News, we've got WRAL Breaking, we have WRAL Severe Weather.
Right,
If you
but
search
I'm
open-
talking about the opens that we use at the very beginnings of newscasts and the reopens. It looks to me like it's just there's one. Like,
Nope. Like if you go into, are you in Expression?
I am. Hold on just a second. Let me get back into it.
Okay.
Okay.
If you search open and then scroll all the way to the top of your results,
Uh-huh.
you see where you've got opens parentheses 18?
Yes.
All of those are for the top of the newscast,
Right. But
with
we
the
used it.
exception of hurricanes and bulls weather.
Right.
I would not start a newscast with those.
As right. What I see is a single open for like a general open, the day-to-day opens. We won't have like
Mhm.
version 1, version 2, version 3. The
No.
open that we use for the morning seems to be the same as the noon, as the evening. Am I wrong about that?
You are not wrong about that. There are places to customize. For example, where did the custom opens go? Oh.
Steph, go ahead and blow his mind too.
I am good at that. Okay, so down here with the franchise base. Actually, we're gonna,
Steph, could you share your screen?
Can you share your?
oh, sorry, I forgot. We changed meetings. Thank you. Been sitting here talking to the same computer, to the same people. I forgot we went to a new system. Now let me resize this so that I can see who's here and see when people have questions. Okay. So this is a custom open. I can on Tuesday. And now let's preload. And I can't play this because it will break my computer and I will waste all of y'all's time trying to do that. But basically I have now created, and it broke it anyway.
Yep.
Basically that will create a custom open where it will fly in, and instead of saying 5 on your side, it will say WRAL investigates pink on Tuesdays and then split.
But there won't be any special track to it that says WRAL
No.
investigate. tracks.
No, there will not be special track. But there are still ways to play with the game.
But for opens and reopens, it's just that one WRL news thing right at the beginning of the opens for the tops of every block. I'm just thinking about how to build my templates.
I mean, you can put weather. If we have weather, you can
Yeah, I'm just talking about for general
put the
news
brief
blocks.
open. You could put the brief open for some of your reentries.
Okay, good. Got that. Yeah, there we go.
If you have blocks, I can't remember, they leave you weekend sports, you will have a sports open that you can sprinkle in there.
Yeah.
If you're going to use, if that block has PolitiFact, you can use the PolitiFact open.
Okay.
We have a lot of different franchise opens that are available. So if you've got segments, if you're starting with COVID in the classroom, you can, as far as templates go, you might not be able to build all those into templates, but those are options as you're planning, since you have the luxury of planning to say, oh, this block I know is going to be consumer and 5 on your side. So where's the 5 on your side?
But typically for the tops and the bottoms of the hours, our news blocks, we will just put in that first news, open WRL news.
Correct.
Whether it's morning, noon, or night.
Correct.
Thank
That's
you.
one of the things that's going to get skinned by whatever you're selected here. See how the picture got darker and the lights came on the towers?
Ah, very nice. That's helpful.
Yes.
Wait,
It
Steph,
really
can you show
is.
that one more time?
Sure. See these lights that are on?
Uh-huh.
They're about to go off when I switch to morning. So I go up here to show, and this tells me right here what time frame I'm under.
Uh-huh.
You just click, pick, and okay.
Oh. Also, that's the thing, just making sure I'm on the same page, where it's just changing the look for us, but it'll actually be the booth that controls that.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
So basically what we were going to go over in this meeting, and Lori, are you around? Okay, I'm gonna take that as a no. The one other thing that we were gonna run over one more time, excuse me, was the idea of work orders. So let's get to the work orders. Let's say you have a graphic that you need. Plasma base. Okay, sorry. Somebody's unmuted and I was trying to see if that was something we needed to stop for or not.
Hey, Darwin, I think you're unmuted again.
Are you kidding me?
This is so weird because it doesn't mute you automatically. And one time, I think like an Instagram video popped up or something while I was waiting, and I think everyone heard my Instagram video. It's very embarrassing.
It happens to all of us. So let's say I need a plasma. I have something that I need filled in there. Go to Streamline. Open Streamline. And let's search through images to see if what I need is there. Let me see if this is Lori real fast. Okay. So let's say we need a box of the Moderna vaccine. That's something that we could plausibly need. So we're going to search Moderna. Not there. Let's make sure the binoculars are on. We're searching in local. It's still not there. So we need to ask for one. We're going to go to new order. The first thing you can do if you want to be thorough, and Scott, this may help you on the weekends, is go to the list of current work orders. And you can see who made something, what's being made, and see if it's there.
And to
Once
do
you
that, you
determine-
just click work orders and nothing else.
Correct. And you get all this information. Okay, we don't see a request for anything we need. So click new order. This is going to come up in 3 phases, and this is why we wanted to walk you guys through it. Name is not your name. I would not type Stephanie here. There will be metadata that tells them who requested the order. This is the name of what you're looking for. So let's say I need 6 p.m. Moderna vaccine. Due date is something that we can't get them to take out. This is one of their mandatory fields. So you fill it in with today's date. You have to have a time. If it's for somebody out in the field, please file it with the time accordingly. So like if it's for somebody in the field, they're going to need it earlier. You might put that as a 3 o'clock. Otherwise, I'm just going to put 6. Okay, 5, because that's where it landed. Because we're also about to tell them what show it's for. You scroll down, you pick your show, or if it's for a photographer, or if it goes to editing for them to work with. So this is going to be in the 6 o'clock show. Destination, again, it's going to Streamline because it's going to go into this database and we're going to pull it back out, except we're not going to have to, because I'll show you that too.
Can you pick multiple destinations?
Sure can.
Answer my question with a click.
Because that way, if the source, let's say we need this for the 4 o'clock, but we also need it for the 6, you request it for the earlier show and ask that it be put both places. That way the 4 o'clock producer can pull up the Streamline version and file it as a full screen or a graphic. And the photographer can have it sent to them out in the field and they can drop that into their package. Usually we're pretty much going with no priority right now, as we let the art department figure out its workflow. One thing I don't know if y'all are aware of or if you've seen her in the building, but there is a new graphic artist. So she's coming up to speed as well. So we're going to leave the priority alone until they get their workflow figured out from seeing what we request. Instructions, this is where you're going to write out anything that you wrote out on the bottom of the email requests. All of this information is just for the artists. This will not follow the finished product into the database. So I need an animated full screen title. No Moderna. Slide in box of Moderna vaccine. Add text. NC did not receive this week's shipment. I'm totally making this up. So don't anybody think this is breaking news. So you fill that out like you would the bottom of the requests that we do right now. If you have an attachment, if you have a photo that will help them, if you have a link, you can paste the link here. If you have a photo, then you can download it and attach. You're going to do that in the next step, but you would tell them here, see attachment. We click OK. This is step 1. Pew. Make this bigger. Okay. Everything on this left side is what you just filled out, adding like 2 drop-down menus for the artist to manipulate. You're pretty much now done with that side. You can go back and make changes if you need to, but you've pretty much taken care of the request. Now we need an asset. The asset is going to be the finished product. The asset is a video, it's a VO, it's an image. That's what you're adding when you say add asset. Bonk. Mapping profile. Let me shrink this a little bit. You're going to have a couple of options here. The ones that you care about, engineering test will go away pretty soon. Are you asking for a still? So you go to images. Are you asking for a movie? You click on movies. animations or movies. So I'm going to click on movies. This name is different from this name. This is naming the request. This is what you would put in the subject line of the current WRL graphics request : whatever you would put after that : 4P/6P Moderna full screen. Enough to tell the art department what they're working on. This name and everything in this box will now follow the finished product into the system. That's why this information goes over here and not in description of what you want. These are the instructions for the artist. These will not be visible when Scott comes in 3 days later and searches for this animation to use it differently. So we're going to give this a name. Moderna shipment, Moderna delay is what we'll call it. Description, that's where you put anything that you think will help you find it in the future. Moderna, delayed, animation. We'll get a better feel for what needs to go into this box as we move forward. Tags. You can tag it, and the artist can also put things in here. Tags. You can tag it. The artist can tag it. You can tag it after the fact. If you're in a rush, you can skip this altogether. I'm going to tag it vaccine. Category is a placeholder because that's what we're making right now. Event is something that we're looking at utilizing down the road. You can ignore that right now. So you click save. Bonk. This is now. Oh, I would now unclick attachment because I ended up not having to attach anything for them, any photographs or anything. So we can do that. Moderna delay now has a placeholder. Now that you have requested it, here's the fun part. You do not have to go back and take the finished product and drop it in. You will take this placeholder right here, drag it, and drop it into image here. You'll get this error message. It's not approved. It's because there's nothing in it to approve. So you're okay with that. You let it go. You add it to the story. They will go back, go through the work orders. Yes, oops. They will go back, go through the work orders, and as they fulfill them, they will drop the information into that placeholder. That placeholder will then send that graphic to the spot in your newscast. It's just like think of it as a precis placeholder with video. Once you have that placeholder and you copy and paste it multiple places, it goes multiple places.
Nice.
This is going to go wherever you have dragged it, which is why I say, Scott, you can go through this. And if you see that I've already got this built and you know you're going to want it, you can grab this right here and you could drag that into a graphic. If I come in and we're working on the 5 and I see this noon graphics request, okay, what's she asking for? Fire. Instructions over here would hopefully say like full screen editing, sending, freeze of video from Sky 5, add text, blah, so that I know which fire it is. And if that's the one I want, I can grab that and drop that into my 5 o'clock. So whenever it's made for noon, it pops in for 5. Whenever it's made for 4, it pops in for the other show that it's in.
So Steph, question there, because that's fantastic. But what if we're doing, you know how sometimes we make one version for 4 and then we try to fancy it up for later shows? Does that have to be 2 separate requests then?
If you're going to fancy it up, probably. But it depends on how you're fancying it up, because these requests are no longer going to be, give me a static image that says Capitol riots. These are going to be please put 3 still images from today's riots into the system for us to use.
Okay.
So you'll already be adding the graphics to it anyway, or
Which
adding the text.
leads to my next question. Technically,
Okay.
I have 2 more, so let me pile them on. One, we're basically only requesting pictures and video then, right? Unless it's like a detailed animation like gas prices and they're spinning around on a gas thing or
Mhm.
okay.
And you can still ask for those kind of animations.
Uh-huh.
It's just when you ask for a full screen, like roommate murdered,
Uh-huh.
they're going to give us the exterior of the apartment complex and tell us to find a template that works for whatever monitor we want.
Okay.
Bottom line, we're more responsible for text now.
Correct.
Exactly. Text and design.
And then my last one, Steph, which this comes from what we were talking about last night. Let's say we get a Chauvin verdict today.
Mhm.
Because this gives us so much more freedom to create stuff, is every producer creating their own, or will we still get a general graphics pack for things like that? Like, how do we make sure it doesn't look like if we're trying to, I know we want some plasmas to look different, but if we're trying to like brand something, are we gonna have it all? Or is it like, let's get 2 or 3 Chauvin related pictures and George Floyd related pictures in the system, and then we all are supposed to be creating our completely own?
Give me 1 second. Hold on 1 second. I need to grab this.
Okay.
Hey, John, I'm in a meeting with some of the producers. Can I call you back? While I've got you here, what does is the Chauvin stuff uploaded yet so that I can show them what we would do with it, or is that still to come? Okay, I will call you back when we get out of this meeting. Because it's in Zoom, so I've got both of you at the same time. Bye-bye. Well, that answers that question. John and I were trying to work ahead in case we get a Chauvin verdict tomorrow at noon, because, you know, life. The last thing we would want is to be figuring this out with a huge breaking story and a new graphics system.
Of course, that's what I was asking.
So we're working through right now the first example of what this is going to look like for something big. I got him a couple of pictures of Derek Chauvin yesterday. He's going to build what he calls Chauvin verdict so that we can use it while we're waiting. We can use it once we have a verdict. We can use it once we know what the verdict is. I'll admit, I'm not sure yet what that's going to look like. And if he's just expecting us to add the text and then build it and put it in one of those persistent folders that we were talking about, or if it's actually going to have some text on it to try to unify across the platforms. We're using this as an example of how to work through all of this.
Of course, one thought there, and if you don't want this, don't worry about it. But what if when we needed something like that where they all have a unified look, they create it like a logo, like 5 on your side or something like that, so the text looks the same, and then we can all customize where it fits on pictures, etc.
That's one of the things we're looking at. We're also looking at, do we create an image for each and put them into one of the persistent folders, because those can be deleted at any time. So
where's the persistent folder? I'm sorry.
That's okay. That is in Browse in Expression.
And those are like graphics, not.
Yeah, these are available to anybody.
Okay. So like in that case, he would put in like Roy Williams retires. We'd have a folder for that in persistent temporarily, or Chauvin trial, or.
Right.
Gotcha.
And they may and they'll be uploaded to the system as well, but this would be an easy way to communicate. Here is the new stuff. Here's what you need. When this happens, here's the go-to.
Love to hear it. Thank you.
One other thing I want to show you in Streamline before I answer any more questions is I was talking about the mapping profile and that had the drop-down menu. Here's what you're choosing. In Streamline, when you go into local, you get all of these folders for being able to pull information from. Basically, what you have just done, the ones that were options were editors VO, which this is where you would drop video. For example, Brian Mims sends a stand-up tease. The editors will be able to drop it in here, or you will once we start using the video capabilities of this. We're pretty much going to launch without that right now, because this goes back to Joe Salih's question from the last meeting of, will these templates accept video? Yes, they have to be processed through Streamline. We're not going to start with that capability because it's just too much. There's still training that needs to be done for editing. There's still too many steps that need to be taken. So we're starting slow. We're going to launch with full screens, supers, tease banners, basic BAMs, like don't try doing any of the sized BAMs yet. MAMs, quads, tri-H's, just getting the basics on air. And then the bells and whistles, we're going to start rolling in about every week to 2 weeks. We'll probably have 1 or 2 more things, probably offer up one of these kind of calls about 10:30 in the morning so that anybody from the morning shift can get home and listen in if they want to. Dayside can dial in after the morning meeting, explain to you what we've got. So those mapping profiles, though, will either tell what you have done is you have just created the computer path for where the rest of us will find what you have asked for. So if you tell it to go to editors VO, we're going to have to look here for it, and we're going to expect it to be a VO. If you tell it to go to images, oh, see, they've just loaded a bunch of stuff in while we've been talking. These top 2 rows are new.
Very reassuring.
Yes. And I've been going in and trying to add information. So food, dining, dine, cook, bake, restaurant and chef were already in the name, so those are searchable. I didn't put a tag, but just to be able to search for some of these, if that inspires something else in your mind and you are always going to think of it as white hat, then feel free to add that, because all of us can update this. If this needs to be tagged, if you need a restaurant, RANT tag, then you can add it. You just click add restaurant. I think I have one for food. No, I don't. Okay.
Hey,
So
Steph.
these, hold on just a second.
Yep.
I'll be right back. That was a very strange noise. You
Sorry,
okay?
it was me. Yeah, I was just accidentally tripped on the way up.
Okay.
Just saying hello.
Okay, sorry about that. We haven't seen one of the cats in a couple of hours, and that sounded like it could have been a cat getting into trouble. So yeah, we can all add to the description. We can all create tags. I have tried to go in and start tagging some of these things with very basic. If I've missed something, if it's something you think needs to be under the tag it. Because we can all add to it to make the search much easier for all of us. Go back to, no, we're not going to change that. And then obviously mapping to movies, you map your animations to movies. So new biotech jobs, this is where the placeholder is already sitting for movies. And then I would just come in and I could pull this, I could pull it from the work orders, or later in the week, if Scott wanted to come in, like let's say you've been off a couple days and you want to see what we've made, you can go in through filters and filter by date created, date ingested, do date ingested today. Okay, So we've had one new movie today. The filters stay on. And don't forget about the power of the binoculars. When you click on binoculars, you can just click on local and it searches every folder. So that's everything that's been ingested today.
Nice.
Any questions?
Hey, Steph, I just want to make sure if we order like a custom map, does it go into custom image video? Is that what that is? The template?
I would map that straight to movies. Excuse me.
Okay.
I would map that straight to movies.
I haven't seen that template yet.
What do you mean you haven't seen that template? There's a whole different training for maps, and the map software is giving us issues right now. So we will still be requesting maps from Art for now.
Right.
That's going to be one of our next steps, though, is we will make our own maps.
Oh, good Lord.
I mean, we're going to roll this out and make it easier to eat this elephant, but there's a whole lot to eat.
Darwin, I think maybe what you were asking is where would you put it in a template? There is a full screen custom image video full board.
You could put that into any template. Like any template that accepts a still image will accept this. So you could put it in this plasma. Let's see, I've been doing this across 2 screens, so hold with me for just a second. Not approved. Okay, so let's go back and approve the darn thing. Because they're supposed to upload as approved. I'll check on that. Back to browse.
Steph, is it maybe worth keeping that though, that we have, it's just another reminder to make sure we go in and check for spelling errors, etc.
We talked about that. Our thought was we need to go back and check, but if we leave the approve unapprove, then we lose the functionality of it appears in our rundown.
Oh, okay, that's, yes, please, yes, whatever makes it appear, do that. We'll all be responsible, we do it anyway.
Exactly. So you can load it into there, Darwin. I wouldn't run it there because you see how it sizes, because now then you would have to come down, image, position. Let's scale this puppy. Let's go down. Oops, wrong way. Do that. You know what? I want it to scoot to the right. But then you're still losing and remove. You could use that, or you could just go and use the custom full screen that doesn't have these little yellow swoopty swoops messing with your map. But you could pull it into any of them, is the long answer to your short question.
So we'll be using Plasma for all full screens now. We need to not think of plasmas as only plasmas, but also custom full screens.
Not necessarily. I was just using that because I had it pulled up to show him that videos can go anywhere.
Oh, so is there, oh yeah, I see you've got full screen custom.
Full screen custom image video.
And you
Gotcha.
also have the plasma base too.
That's what I was wondering, because I thought that's what I saw her making it in, so that's why I didn't know.
It was, and that was just because that's what happened to be there.
Oh, so like that would be, you know, maybe we want the map in the MAM or the BAM, but if we're going to take it full screen, we should aim to use full screen custom.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I wanted to make sure I had down. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Steph, do you know if they're working on the bug that causes playouts to crash expression in Citrix?
I think it's a bug that just causes our system to crash because I'm not on Citrix. And you've seen me crash twice today.
Oh, okay. But that doesn't happen in the station.
Yeah, it does.
This is not reassuring.
the way around it, get it to render all of your frames and then just click through the process.
Yeah, just don't play it out as an animation for now.
Exactly. I was trying to scroll on that last one to see if I could trick it, and that's why it crashed.
And when that happens, you lose all of your work, right?
Correct.
Word to the wise.
There is no save. There's just add to story or keep working. There is no clear. There is click on a new system and then click back on it.
Yeah, that's got to be fixed. That's a pain in the butt.
Oh, and Scott, here's your other option. I'm just using this because I know we have these images. You can also get rid of my filters. You can update your opens if you have something going on. So for example, after the weekend protests, you could load some video in there and have the open and the coverage you can count on come up over a different video or still frame.
Very nice.
So let's see if I can step through sort of, oh, no. Wah,
Oh,
wah.
snap.
Busted. Any other questions? I was going to try and keep this one short. I just wanted to walk you guys through the work order since we had kept saying we'll get to that, we'll get to that. The only other thing that you would need to know about is just to be aware of, just because I've seen 1 or 2 people haven't been aware of, is that we will be responsible for sizing mugshots now. We currently send them to the editors and say, hey, can you put this in the system and size it? And they send us a number back. Now we're going to send them the mugshot and say, hey, can you put this in the system? And they're going to say done. And then we will go in, grab it, drop it into a system, and it's up to us. We're just going to search. And it's going to be up to us to size them properly. Hey, Lonnie, you look like one I'll have to resize. So we drop her into mug number 1. They're going to upload them by name. So her name was Aolani Pettit. Oops, with E. Okay. You have to erase name of person from each of the other 6. In order to get a single mugshot. She is a random suspect. And then if I decide her mug needs to be sized, you have to go into scale. Maybe we need to shift her a little bit to the right because of her shoulder being sloping or whatever reason we decide. So we're going to shift her to the right. Whoops, too far. But all of that zooming in and whatnot that the editors used to do, we now do. So their job will just be for uploading, and then we will grab it. Scale,
Where will we find where they upload again? I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's why we're here. Streamline will have a mugshots folder.
Perfect. Got it. Thank you.
Any other questions? I was going to try and keep this one short.
Oh, Steph, I'm sure I have like 40,000 more, but I'll
And you
I'll
guys
hit you
have
when I
my
think,
email and my phone and my text when you come up with them.
and we know where to find you.
Yep.
In the
Right
kitty
here on
corner.
Skype.
Oh, I like my option better.
What was that?
I like mine better. In the kitty corner.
In the kitty corner. Well, I may take 5 minutes and go try to find the kitty. We haven't
Thank
seen her
you
since
for-
last night, so.
Thank you for going through all this. And I know you've gone over some of it with me multiple times. So thank you. It's helping it all sink in, just hearing it over and over.
Exactly. It doesn't sink in until you actually use it.
Yep,
So
100%.
until then, I'm just trying to be a Ross to English translator or a Ross to producer translator.
Yeah. On the plus side, that mug looks like, can it be the full box now, unlike last night?
It can.
Cool, cool, cool.
That's just from where I was playing with the scaling.
That's what I thought. I just want to make sure we got that fixed. Awesome. Thank you, Steph. I'm going to log off here, but you've been great. I'll hit you with questions when I think of them.
Hard to
Please
believe we
do.
went from writing on
Thanks,
paper
Steph.
just like over a year ago to doing this.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Do you remember the paper forms? I
Remember
forgot
them?
about the pads.
I have a drawer full of them.
Yeah, I still had a couple of stacks of them when I left the office.
Wait, if somebody's got one of those left, save it for me. I'm framing it and putting it on the wall.
I'll laminate it.
Love it. They can be your
Awesome.
placemats, Scott.
That's
We
what I
all
wanna
need
see when I
placemats at our desks.
And you can use crayons on it instead.
Y'all, we're causing trouble. Everybody, I'll talk to you later.
Talk to y'all. Oh, hold on. I see something in the chat. Oh, okay.
It was just Kim.
It was just Kim. Okay.
Right.
Making sure I hadn't missed a question first. Y'all have a good day. And if you need anything, shout
Thank you
Thanks,
again,
Steph.
Steph.
Thanks.
anytime. Good to see you.